Welcome to Pera's Playbook. This is your host, Alex Pera. Let's open up our playbook and see who our guest is. Please enjoy. Welcome to episode 177 of Pera's Playbook. Today we're joined by Levi Pennala. He's a golfer for the NMU men's golf team. Levi, how's it going? Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, it's good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. It's golf season. Well, for most of us, up here in Houghton, there's still a few courses that have not opened yet, due to being wet and snow filled. But we're getting there.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's I actually moved back downstate for the summer, but so it's super nice getting to be outside and actually hit on grass very consistently. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I went golfing 2 weekends ago in Lawrence. I mean, they've been open for a few weeks, but oh my gosh, was it wet? It was brutal. They let people have carts on the course, and I mean they were driving and it was just splashing up water, just like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Portage just opened last weekend, and Calumet, that's where I always golf. They haven't opened yet, so I'm just waiting.
Kind of wait, yeah, just hanging around waiting for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone downstate's been golfing for about 2 months already.
Oh yeah, I know. It's hilarious. All my buddies kept sending me videos of playing golf outside while I was up there in school and getting a little jealous.
Yeah. Well, that's what we get for either living up here or choosing to go to school up here or whatever the reason is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's start by talking about the high school days. I know you played Brighton Hockey, so you made a few trips up here when you were playing. I'm sure to play Houghton and Hancock and Jeffers, and I know for all those teams, it's always those are the important games when Brighton and Brother Rice and Novi and all the downstate teams start coming up. I mean, those are the games that really show you what you're made out of. They really show you, if you've got a shot to, play in the tournament, because you guys were all higher divisions than Houghton and Hancock and Calumet. So, right, if they could hang with you guys, they could hang with anybody. And I know that, the trip meant something for you guys too, coming up playing good competition. But let's start there. Just kind of talk about Brighton Hockey. I mean, it's a very good program in the state of Michigan. I know you had 3 state runner-ups to Detroit Catholic Central, which I'm sure was tough, but yeah.
No, I mean it's a lot of fun and it's very special to be able to play for a program like Brighton. You get there and you kind of know it's different than anywhere else for sure. It's run by super good coach Kurt Kavisto. He does an amazing job there, and I mean year in year out, it's a top program in the state, and so it's kind of like you feel like it's an honor to play there and kind of wear those jerseys, and a bunch of good guys have been through the program, and you kind of just try to hold yourself up to a standard. It's like a different standard playing for Brighton than playing for another school. So it's really special, and then getting to go up north is a lot of fun for sure. It's like we always look forward to it, and then it's kind of like us getting back into the swing of things after winter break. So it's a good way definitely to get back into it and play some good competition after going on a long trip. So it's a lot of fun. We'd always go up play Calumet every year, and then we rotate between Hancock and Houghton every other. So it's a lot of fun. It's super fun to always get into the Coliseum, play Cal, and then we played Houghton in the D, and then Hancock. Can't remember what their barn's called, but always some good competition up there, and we always play them tough. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, some of the coldest barns you'll find too, in the D or in the Coliseum.
Sure. Yeah, you're definitely getting chilly there. So
yeah, some historic barns though. I mean, if you think about hockey in the state of Michigan, the very historic rinks to play in. So I mean, it's kind of cool, and just to get to play like you were talking about a program of that level. There's so many kids that don't know what that's like. They play for programs that don't have a winning history. They don't have a strong hockey history. There's a lot of kids playing for for just in areas where maybe hockey's not as big, so they don't understand that culture and that pride that you guys have, and that goal of striving for a championship every single season.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's a real honor to be able to do it, and then it's also you feel a little bit of the pressure. Everybody that goes to the program is kind of like, oh yeah, we won a state title or we made a run, and you definitely feel a little bit of that pressure of Brighton's good every year, so now you have to be good because you play there. So it definitely adds a little bit to it, and makes you kind of work a little bit harder. You kind of want to live up to the standards of the guys before you. So it's a lot of fun. It kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, tough to lose to the same team 3 years in a row, though. I'm that's just, I
Yeah,
mean, they're on
it's
another
really
level for
yeah.
sure.
No, I've kind of, now that I look back on it, I mean, it's I've heard some different coaches talk about it, and a lot of public school coaches talk about it, and they speak out about it. But I mean, I don't really know where I stand, if something should be done or not, if they should move into like their own private school league or something. But I mean, 6 in a row now. I think they're on 7 in a row. So it's kind of like no, nobody really. I hate to admit it, but not many teams can hang with CC. I mean, I hate them with a passion, but you gotta give them their props. They're a really good team, and they're always there. So we had some really good teams while I was there, and just could never get the job done. So I mean, I don't know when you start looking towards maybe changing some things around, and trying to find a solution to the problem that is almost clearly there with 6 or 7 wins in a row. It's hard to argue.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely a conversation many people have. I see both sides of it. Coming from a public school side, you know, I feel like when you lose year after year, you get kind of pissed. But then the one year you beat them, you're all fired up. You're like, oh yeah, we beat a
Oh
private
yeah,
school, like heck yeah. So
exactly.
I mean, that it is kind of nice when you do, and it does happen. It doesn't happen often, but when the public schools do beat the private schools, it means so much more. But yeah, 7 in a row. I mean, how do you compete with that? I know Houghton, Houghton kids. They played Brother Rice year after year. They play UD Jesuit, and they played Catholic Central. I think at the showcase within the last couple of years. You're playing Orchard Lake, St. Mary's, all these teams, and those games. I mean, you want to win them more than any other game just because it's a private school.
Oh, for sure. It means that much more. It's got it really is. Playing at Brighton too is like, it's an awesome thing because you're playing with kids that you grew up with, kids that you kind of grew up playing with and around and against, and um, you look at those programs like Catholic Central or Brother Rice, and it's kind of kids who haven't really like lived in the same area. They're not really friends from like middle school or elementary school. They just kind of, their coaches reach out, and they build almost a powerhouse of a team with guys selected from places across the state and even out of the state. I saw a couple kids from Massachusetts on this last DCC team, and you kind of look at that and you're like, I don't know if that's, I hate to say that it's not fair, but because I you just don't I don't like making excuses, but um, looking back now, I mean, obviously during while I was playing, I'm a super competitive guy, so it's like, we'll just beat them. We'll just beat them with what they got, and then you kind of look back on it now, and it's like, I don't know if what's going on is really right.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I think it was this year we were all rooting for Jeffers because they made a nice rundown state, and
Yeah,
I think it was Cranbrook's team. Looking at their roster, it was like, man, they got a kid that was playing on like Czech U15 teams. They got a kid from Turkey. Like they had these kids from all over the world, let alone different parts of the U.S. And it's like, I mean, that's just crazy. I swear it was either Cranbrook or Orchard Lake, but I'm pretty sure it was the Cranbrook Jeffers. I mean, when you got kids from over in Europe, I mean,
it's kind of nuts what goes on in some of these private schools, but I don't know. It's definitely a conversation to be had, and I definitely, I'm kind of with you. I could see both sides, but for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep.
Conversation.
Definitely. And I'm sure they'll keep having that conversation. If something happens, that remains to be seen. But I'm sure people will keep talking about it. And whatever happens, you just gotta adapt. You just gotta go with
Yep.
what you got. I mean, you really can't sit there and complain about it. That's not gonna do anything. You just gotta put your best cards on the table and give it your all, and that's all you can do.
Oh, for sure.
So let's talk recruiting. So obviously you decided to go up north and play your college golf. What was your recruiting experience like?
Um, well, it's kind of interesting because I think up until late in my senior year, I was pretty sure I wanted to play hockey after high school, and Eric Johnson actually was the coach at the time at Northern Michigan, and he was kind of talking to me throughout my senior year, and we were sending some emails back and forth, and I knew it was an option, and I wanted to keep my cards open and my options open and available. But I played. I went down for a week with Springfield um, Junior Blues and in the Null, and did that with them for about a week, and then came back, finished the season with Brighton, and then after the season, I was kind of hoping I would get some tender offers or something, and nothing really came about. Just main camp invites and NCDC and all main camps, and so I got some really good interest from Eric, and seemed like an awesome opportunity. And I obviously or I guess not obviously, but my mom's from the UP, and she graduated from Calumet, so knew the area, was familiar with the area, and knew some kids that were going to school there, and kind of took the opportunity and ran with it.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's exciting to get to go back to a place that you've got family from and play a college sport. Not everyone gets to do that. So area you're familiar with makes it easier to do that transition too. If you know the area, if you know some people on the team, um, and then just to get to play a college sports, kind of cherry on top. So
For sure.
what would you say is the biggest difference between like college golf and high school golf?
I would just say like consistency of players. Like high school golf, you always got those few kids who are going to go and kind of be in the top five of every tournament, and they're going to compete. And it's a few select few guys that are at the top of the leaderboard. But I mean, you're at the college level, and it's kind of anyone's game, really. Like everybody out there has the game to win or the game to put in a top 10 score or something like that. And guys are going really low, and you got to be able to take it deep in order to win. And at the high school level, you can kind of get away with winning at 72, 73. And especially with the courses that you're playing at too, you're playing tough conditions, and they tip it out, and it's playing 7,000 yards versus high school. You're playing 63, 6,400 yard courses, and you got to hit it a lot farther. You got to adapt, and they're playing the rough thicker, and they're trying to tuck pins and make it hard for you. So it's definitely kind of just learning to keep it steady and not lose your cool terribly quick. And if you do, you're going to be out of it pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of people that play golf leisurely that think they'd be
Mm-hmm.
good enough to maybe play in college or play on the tour. Like, man, yeah, I'm so good at my local country club, I could play on the tour. And I know it bothers college golfers and professional golfers when people talk like that because most people don't talk about other sports like that. Most people don't say like, yeah, I could play in the NFL because you can't. You just can't. But for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
golf, because some people play it 7 days a week in the summer, they think that yeah, I could go hit it on the PGA Tour. And it's like, yeah, maybe you are a pretty good golfer, but can you play this many days in a row, consistent, good golf under this extreme amount of pressure? You mentioned conditions. There's so many factors that I feel like people don't think about when they're like trying to compare themselves to college golfers and pro golfers.
Yeah, oh, for sure, and a lot of those people are people that are playing only when it's sunny, and only when it's not too hot out, not too cold, not too windy. So it's interesting because when you show up to a tournament, you're playing no matter what, basically, unless it's lightning, you're playing. So pouring rain, you're out there, you're grinding, and and then you're finishing everything out. A lot of those guys are taking 3-foot gimmies or 4-foot gimmies and calling it good and walking to the next tee. But you're sweating out 2-footers that are sliding a little bit, and they can definitely get nerve wracking, and especially when you're playing for a team and you're not just playing for yourself, you're playing for other guys, and you got a 2-footer to keep your team in the hunt, and it definitely looks a lot longer than what it is for sure.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of people taking gimmies. Like I always put it because I mean it's not a gimme, especially like if you watch college or pro golf. You see so many times that guys miss those 2 footers. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
how can you really tell me it's gimme? Just hit it in. Like it's gonna take you 30 seconds. Just hit it in, bend over, pick it up. Like what? You're just
Right.
too
Yeah.
lazy. I mean, I get you're playing for fun, but are you afraid of the little blemish on your scorecard, or are you too lazy? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I kind of joke with my friends a lot, and I'm a little bit harder to give a gimme to some of my buddies when I'm playing back at home, because I'll tell them if it's good, just make it. If you think it's good, just make it. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah, for sure. That's funny. What do they
yeah,
say?
they just shake their head, look at me, and put the ball back down, and they normally make them, but it's every once in a while they'll miss, and I get a good laugh out of it. So it's all in good fun for sure. It's all fun in
Yeah,
games. So
yeah, definitely. So, what do you guys do in the winter? I mean, obviously, we can't golf up here in the UP in the
hmm
winter. So, you guys have a simulator that you guys use? Are you like practicing in the dome or in different things, or like how do you guys do it?
yeah. So it's definitely a lot different than some of the other colleges get to do. So winter, we get just pounded with snow. So obviously courses aren't open or anything, not hitting outside. So we got a simulator up in the PEEF. We get pretty much access to all day. You're kind of in there whenever you want, and then we have practices in the dome normally in the mornings, so that's good too. That's more just like short game, just like wedge stuff. Can't hit terribly far shots, but we'll put some targets out there, some trash cans, or we got some small little nets that are kind of like bullseye targets that we'll hit our wedges at, and we'll get some foam balls and get some full swings. So it's good. We find ways to still keep improving even throughout the winter that a lot of teams don't necessarily have to do.
Yeah, yeah, it's a different challenge, totally different experience that most schools, I mean even downstate, they're going to get out on the golf course before you
Mm-hmm.
guys do and they might be able to stay out later too. If we look at the fall weather we get up here,
For
we can
sure.
get pounded with snow a lot earlier than other places. So there's so many places
For
in the
sure.
country where they just totally would not understand the experience that you guys have.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I graduated with a buddy from who goes to Wayne State and plays there now, and he was we were just kind of comparing like our college experiences in golf, and he was talking about how they were getting out early April playing on their home course, and we didn't get to go outside at all until after the school year is done. So it's definitely a super big difference in experiences, and you kind of got to adapt, and it's special to Northern for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So what's in your bag? What do you what are your clubs? What do you use?
So I got a TaylorMade driver and 3-wood. I got the new QI10s, or I guess not new anymore because TaylorMade's just pumping those things out. But I got QI10 driver and 3-wood. Then I go to a Mizuno 3-iron, which is a driving iron. I like that a lot. And then I have Mizuno irons 4 to pitching wedge. And then I have a 60 degree, a 54, and a 50 are my wedges, and a Cleveland putter to finish it out. So
Yeah,
I got a
I got
good variety of bags.
yeah, I got the QI10 also. Nice
Yeah,
driver, but you can't keep up. I mean, like you said,
yeah,
not new anymore. I mean, they just
exactly. Yeah, it feels like I should be able to say it's the newest one, but yeah, no, they're spitting them out left and right. So, but I love it. It's nice. It's forgiving, and even with the QI 35 being out, a lot of those guys are still hitting the QI 10. Like I know, I think Rory when he won the players. He was hit. He originally started the first 2 days with the QI 35, and then he switched back to the QI 10 because he wasn't hitting the 35 well. So I think that it's kind of they're kind of going quantity over quality, and the QI 10 is the best driver they've had in a while, and I think they might have rushed the QI 35 a little bit. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I just trying to get the next best thing, and yeah. I mean, I feel like if you've got a nice club, just you don't need to rush the next one out. Like, there's no need. Like, work on it till it's
For sure.
perfect. Everyone's happy with the QI 10. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it looks worse if you rush it out and then it doesn't meet the expectations.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good look when some of those big tour players are switching back to the QI 10 when they're not hitting the 35 well. So it's definitely it's an easy thing to see. Normally they'll at least try to fight with it, but when they're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars for one placement, will definitely hit what they hit well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the golfers don't care. They just want to win. I mean,
No, for
they
sure.
don't
Yeah.
care how it makes the
Yeah.
tailor made look or whatever. Like, they're gonna do whatever it takes to help their own game.
Yeah.
So, what's the strongest part of your game?
Um, I think my short game is definitely the most consistent part of my game. I think my approach needs some work, and I'm either hot or cold off the tee. So I think my short game is what kind of keeps me in it. And if I'm doing that well, then I kind of got a chance any tournament and any time. So um, got a good putter that I can kind of fall back on, and I normally typically tend to hit my chips pretty close. So definitely helps.
Yeah, I know everyone's got mixed opinions on it, but I think iron play and your short game, that's the most important. I know some people would say, oh, if you hit it well off the tee, then you don't need this short game, and and everyone's
Hmm.
got a different thought on it. And some people think putting's super important, but I mean, hey, if your approach is awesome, maybe you don't need that putter as much. If you can land it around 5 feet around the hole or whatever, you see some of these guys on tour, and man, they can hit a really ugly drive off into the rough, but their wedge play or their iron play is so good that they just make up for it in the second and third shot, and
Hmm.
boom, they're in position for a 7 foot birdie putt or eagle or whatever. So I know everyone's got different thoughts on it, but yeah, I think, like, for me, my not saying it's good, but my iron play is better than anything else, and yeah, I mean, I guess whatever works for you. Like, if you can win, because your driving is off the tee is the best, and I guess go with whatever works for you. But yeah, I think short game, in my opinion, is
Oh, for sure.
maybe the best.
Yeah, I think that something that I've kind of always liked to live by, and since me playing in high school, is short game travels and wedges win. So short game, it's gonna work anywhere. Your short game will travel, and you're gonna see it at a very difficult course, a very easy course. If your short game is good, you're gonna get up and down no matter where you're at. And then if your wedges are really good, you're gonna put yourself in an opportunity to win. So short game travels, wedges win.
Yeah, if it was all driving and off the tee, then every long drive champ in the world would be the best golfers in the world. But there's a reason why those guys are only long drive champs.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite golfer?
Um, I'm kind of torn on him right now just because of where he's playing, but I was a huge fan of Brooks Koepka, and then he went to the Live, so I still like him a lot. I still would say I think he's my favorite, but it's kind of tough when he's not playing on the PGA Tour, and it's kind of hard to watch him, and you kind of people call it like almost like an off brand of the tour or whatever, and it's not as tough to win out there, and you don't got all the top guys playing, so it's only 3 days, and they're doing shotgun starts, and they got the music blasting. So I don't know how I feel about it, but yeah, I'd say Brooks. He's probably my favorite golfer.
It's definitely a heated argument in the golf world. I know a lot of people, are kind of in that same mood. That there's a lot of guys that they loved that just kind of went for the money, and people don't know how they feel about that. Like, my favorite golfer is Shane Lowry, but I also really like DeChambeau a lot, and
Yeah.
it's like I get kind of torn with the whole live golf thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just kind of the idea. I it's guaranteed money. I get that, right?
Hmm.
Like, it's hard to say, but still, if you're on the tour, you know, it's not like you're making bad money. I mean,
Right.
like,
No, for sure not. And I think one of the good things about what the Live has done is it's kind of put pressure on the tour to give bigger purses and bigger payouts to winners and stuff. And I think now they're getting, like, if you got your tour card, you have like 500,000 guaranteed now with what Live's doing. So I think they're kind of trying to incentivize guys to stay on tour and stay and play and in what is still the most competitive golf league in the world. And I don't think that changes with the guys that left and went to Live. I mean, if you look at major leaderboards, and it's mainly PGA guys that are in the top 10, 15 of the leaderboard. So I mean, it's definitely still the most competitive tour in the world, and with the 4 days, and you got to make the cut. I think that's another big thing with some of the guys' decisions to go over there is you get 3 guaranteed days versus on the tour you're kind of sweating out cuts and you're sweating it out to make money. But um, I would like to say that if I was in one of their positions, I would stay. But man, it would be very, very hard to turn down as much money as some of those guys were offered. So I don't know. I'm not in the not, was never put in those shoes. So I don't know what I would do, honestly.
yeah, I feel the same way. I'd like to believe that I would stick to my guns, and I totally understand why the guys left. I mean, it's hard to say no to that kind of money and the benefits that you're
Hmm.
talking about. But if you look at the guys that are still on tour, there's no doubt that it's not. I feel like Liv went for a bunch of guys that have big name recognition, but they're not
Hmm.
in the prime of their game anymore. Like Phil
No,
draws name recognition, but
for
he's
sure.
old and his game's washed up.
Yeah,
Kepka, if you look at his recent major results,
not
it's
great.
not stellar. Dustin Johnson, same thing. I mean, these guys
Hmm.
are lucky if they make the cut in the majors.
For sure.
Um, so I mean, there are some
Yeah,
night players that like I would like to see Neiman more. Like that guy's
yeah,
he's really good. I'd love to
for
watch him
sure.
more, but you can't watch him when he's over on Live.
Yeah, it's so hard to watch. I follow the live on Instagram, and I'm seeing when their posts and their start times, and they were just in Hong Kong playing an event, and they were starting at I was out at out with some buddies at like 10 o'clock at night, and I checked my phone, and the live says watch, we're starting live now. And I'm like, what? It's 10 p.m. It's kind of nuts. But then the other thing that gets me kind of curious is this run that Scotty Scheffler's on is pretty unbelievable, and it's one that we kind of haven't seen since like Prime Tiger or somebody like that. But it kind of makes you wonder if all the guys that went to Live, if they were all still here, would he have done what he've done with guys like Neiman and DeChambeau, and even I think you got like John Rahm over there, and you think if Kepka stays, does he stay sharp, or guys like that went over to the Live, do they steal a couple wins from that pretty unbelievable run that Scotty went on? And it's kind of just something that I think about a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard not to think about it, and it's hard not to wonder if the guys that left, if their game dropped off because they left. Is that the reason, or did they just kind of, like Ricky Fowler? He's a guy I look at, and he had a huge prime, and once in a while he still pops off, but most of the time he's really non effective anymore.
Yep.
He's still on the tour, so yeah. How do you know if those guys, if their games would have just fallen off, or if they would have stayed competitive? They're all interesting thoughts, and I know Rory has talked about it, and other guys, they want golf to come back together as one, and I think that'd be the best for the fans. So we'll see
Oh,
what
for sure.
happens, in the
Yeah.
coming years.
Yeah. I think the best thing for the game for sure would be for to get the leagues to find a way to make a compromise. And I think that Live kind of did its thing, stirred the pot, got PGA to kind of drum up some more cash for the players, which is kind of what golf needed. Um, and then and even just like just the controversy and the game was kind of professional golf, at least, and watching it was kind of falling away. I think viewership was going down a little bit, but I think with the stirring of the pot that Liv did, I think you got more viewers, and especially with COVID, and you got a lot more people back into the game. And I think that Liv kind of did what it needed to do, and it's time for sure for golf to kind of reunite and get the players back together.
Yeah, they made their point. A
Hmm.
little bit of change happened, so now let's bring it back together. The temper
Yeah.
tantrum can be over now. You can start throwing a pitch.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, why don't we end the episode talking about? I was reading in your northern bio that one of your hobbies is playing the guitar. So do you play acoustic or electric or both? Or
Yeah. Yeah. I just do acoustic. Kind of picked it up a couple years ago. Not great. I play every now and then, and trying to get good enough to play for people like around a campfire or something. But just kind of something that I like to do in my pastime, or if I got time here and there between homework and sports. I'll kind of strum a little bit, but nothing crazy.
yeah, are you self taught? You teach yourself?
Yeah, yeah, kind of self-taught YouTube videos and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I bought a guitar a couple summers ago with that ambition, and
yeah.
it hasn't happened yet. I keep telling myself that when I get older, I'm gonna have more free time. I'm not gonna be as busy, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
do it. But I mean, YouTube, it's nice. Like you can watch so many free videos and kind of
Right.
figure it out if you put the time in. You don't need to pay for
Mhm.
lessons, which is sweet.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a super nice way to do it. There's guys that kind of that make it pretty easy, and I mean it's definitely hard to get going, kind of like you were talking about. It's definitely takes some time, and the first couple days or weeks are they kind of suck just because you're not very good and kind of want to get good fast, and you're like, oh, let me play a song, but it's hard, but once you get it figured out, it's a little bit easier and it's a lot more fun.
Yeah, no, I I totally agree with you. It's one of those things where I feel like when you watch somebody play a guitar, you think like, oh, it can't be that hard. And then when you try to
Right.
do it, you're like, wow, I can't even move my fingers that way. Like it's just
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
a lot
Oh, for
harder
sure.
than it looks. Kind of like golf, right? Like on TV,
Exactly.
it looks a lot easier, but then when you actually try to go and replicate it, it's really incredible. The people that are at the
Mhm.
top for both music and golf and all this stuff. I mean, it's really incredible.
Yeah, yeah, it's impressive what some people can do, and it's really cool. It kind of makes you want to get better as a person and as a golfer, I guess, or a guitar player. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You want to be that guy that can play it like guitar back behind
behind
his
the
head.
back, or doing exactly. Yeah, you're not looking. You got your eyes closed, and yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, that'll impress the buddies at the campfire.
no, for sure, for sure. Yeah, if you can get it going behind your back, I'll be quite impressed. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, Levi, I appreciate you hopping on the podcast and talking some golf and some hockey and whatnot. It was a good time.
yeah, yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I did it.
Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for more episodes soon.